Good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome everybody to Edition Financial Arena in Orlando, Florida, as we get set for what should be one heck of a volleyball match in the Sunshine State. The Orlando Valkyries hosting the Omaha Supernovas this Sunday afternoon at AdFi. Should be a lot of fun. These two teams come into the season with lofty expectations. Both teams largely rebuilt to start the season, and it should be an intriguing matchup so far. Sean Davison alongside the beach volleyball All-American at Florida State in Madison Fitzpatrick. And Madison, a lot to dissect in this matchup. What do you make of each team's path to this point here today?
Well, I think both teams definitely have advantages. They have strengths. As far as the Valkyries are concerned, they are where they are today. They have had their success because of their offense. They're first in the league in hitting efficiency and first in kills per set. Omaha, on the other hand, is absolutely stacked. They have depth across the entirety of the bench, and they're first in opponent hitting efficiency. So they hold their opponents to a really low efficiency week in and week out. Their net defense and their floor defense is absolutely elite. So it's going to be a clash of the offense and the defense, two of the top in the league.
Yeah, something you feel just has to give tonight. For Omaha, they're on a run of momentum. They've won consecutive matches and relatively convincingly. But for Orlando, they come in looking for a win against a team that they have not beaten yet. So, Madison, a lot to sort of break down here, but in multiple ways, it feels like this is a match that Orlando should feel like they really need to win.
Absolutely. I mean, Orlando has had a slower start to the season, but it's a relatively new team. There's new pieces. There's a new starting setter. There's just new pieces all around the board. So, of course, it's going to take some time to get some rhythm, to get the chemistry going. It doesn't come right away, and it's a long season. There are 28 matches in the entirety of the season, so I would expect Orlando to hit their stride sometime soon.
And each of these teams with a lot of fresh faces. Omaha decidedly younger than where they were a season ago. So everybody's still learning each other this early in the season, Mads. It makes it really interesting, to say the least.
Definitely, and that's why coming into every single game, you don't know what's going to happen. Omaha, on one hand, has a lot of momentum coming into this matchup. They're coming off of back-to-back sweeps over the Columbus Fury, and they held the Columbus Fury to an 0.36 hitting efficiency in their last sweep and had 13 blocks in 3 sets, which is a team record. So they definitely have momentum and a lot of confidence coming into this matchup.
We'll quickly introduce you to the starting lineups for either side. We'll start with the Omaha Supernovas on the road. Nadi Valentine Anderson will be the starting setter. Brooke Nuneviller and Reagan Cooper will be at the pin. Kelsey Payne will be the opposite. Their middles will be Caitlin Horde and Kayla Caffey. And at the libero spot to start things off for the Supernovas will be Camila Gomez. Meanwhile, for the Valkyries, the starting setter is Pornpun Goodpart, who goes by Shampoo. At the pin, it's Courtney Schwann and Adora Anai. On the opposite, Brittany Abercrombie. And in the middle, it'll be Kaz Brown and the rookie, Natalie Foster. Shannon Scully, a surprise pencil in as the starting libero for Orlando. We'll see how this match shakes out. We are underway at Edition Financial Arena. First ball goes out to the pin, and Adora Anai recycled off the block, and off the second effort, Anai finds the floor, and Orlando is on the board first.
One of Adora Anai's favorite shots is that 4-to-4 from the 4, which is the outside, all the way cutting that ball back really sharp in front of the 10-foot line. She does that really well.
So off the opening kill, Anai rotates to the back row. Was one of the best servers in the Pro Volleyball Federation last season. Number 14 in that light blue. Brooke Nuneviller, one of the best all-around players, not just last season, but so far this season as well for the Supernovas. No surprises there. She's on the board early as well.
Brooke Nuneviller was a standout at Oregon, and now at PVF. She's got 92 kills in total. She's an absolute dynamite over there on the left pin.
Those 92 kills coming into today, ranking in the top 5 of all players in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Courtney Schwann hunting the sideline, found it, point to Orlando.
The key for Orlando is going to be getting started fast. However, they have gotten started fast in all of their sets. They have won the first set in all 5 of their matches this season. So getting started fast and then keeping that going throughout the entirety of the match.
So both of Orlando's pin hitters have registered a kill early, and that just misses the end line. A reminder to those of you who are watching maybe your first couple of Pro Volleyball Federation matches of the season, or those who are watching the Pro Volleyball Federation for the first time, this is not like college volleyball where you have line judges. They use Bolt 6 technology, and that technology provides our up referee, Young Park, with instantaneous feedback as to whether a ball was in or out. No question there, that ball was in, and that is kill number 2 for Courtney Schwann.
Yesterday when we spoke to Coach Amy Polly, she said Courtney Schwann is learning how to figure out how to play like she's practicing. She said in practice she's really aggressive, she swings like a dog. She wants to see that in this gameplay.
Coming off likely her best match of the season against Grand Rapids, hit north of 300, also had north of 10 kills in it. Another swing for number 4, that is turned back, picked up by Kaz Brown. Out of system ball now for Schwann, and that is put down at the net by Omaha. And Madison, you mentioned how good Omaha is defensively. It's not just the opponent hit percentage, but the ingredients into that. They are second best in the league in digs per set. They are also second best in blocks per set. Tight. Goodpard wins the joust. It comes out to Omaha, and Shannon Scully was there to dig the ball, but dug it underneath the net.
And this is a new position for Shannon Scully, who's an outside. She's really good on the pass. She's got great ball control, but she has not played libero this season or last.
In fact, I believe, Madison, she told us at practice that she had played all of one semester's worth of libero in college.
So it's time to step up, and it's time to step up big. The Orlando Valkyries are using 2 libero, so Shannon Scully will come in primarily to be the serve-receive libero, and then Yosia will be the defense libero.
And speaking of Nolani Yosia, she checks in now for the Valkyries, number 18 in blue. There she is, digging that ball up. Brittany Abercrombie tips it over the block and down.
Brittany Abercrombie on that D ball is so incredibly efficient and dynamic. She's got a nice long reach, and that was perfect tip right to the open hole.
Reigning Athletes Unlimited champion, who averaged nearly 5 kills per set in that league, is at it early, and there's Orlando's block coming alive. That is something that Amy Pauley highlighted as something she wants to see this team take a step forward in. She said, I'm tired of positive block touches. I need to see my team block for points.
Stronger hands and block for points. That's the goal.
Out of the middle, a nice swing by Kayla Caffey, who puts that ball down.
Coach Laura Bird-Kuhn described Kayla Caffey as dynamic, and it's really true. You can run her in front, you can run her behind. There she was on that gap set.
Omaha off the championship a season ago brought back only 2 players, Nadi Valentine Anderson and Brooke Nunaviller. Kayla Caffey played for Grand Rapids, and that is a quick kill in response by Orlando.
Adora Anai is so incredibly talented. She has a nice long approach, great set by Shampoo right to her shoulder, and then Adora Anai has a ton of range, and she uses it to her advantage.
7-5 Valkyries early. Back row Nunaviller, picked up by Anai. Abercrombie looking for the heavy cross, found the back corner.
Across the last 2 matches, Brittany Abercrombie has racked up 40 total kills. Week in and week out, she's putting up giant numbers from the front row and the back row.
Had 30 kills in the Valks road match against Las Vegas. Good work in the back row there by Schwann. Adora Anai on the sharp cross, missed the sideline.
That was Adora Anai going back to that 4-to-4 angle swing. She's really effective with it, but they're just a little too over-rotated on her approach.
What do you make of the start for Orlando so far, Madison? They look really aggressive here early.
I really like it. I think their ball control is really good. In serve-receive, they're placing the ball nicely, and then Shampoo's running a nice balanced offense.
That ball is tight. Shampoo calls her own number and swats it over the net. Good ball there by Abercrombie in transition off the D-ball. Nunaviller off the bick. Anai caught, hands and out.
One of the most impressive things about Adora Anai is how composed she is. She is so confident, she swings so confidently, and then she's very calm after she gets a kill.
Yeah, that inner mahalo for Adora Anai keeps herself very composed. It's very quiet sometimes how she operates, but did have a season-high 27 kills a couple of matches ago for Orlando, and she's already got several in this match so far. The Valkyries now have their leads, well, to 4 off the attack error. Busy day in Orlando, the NFL Pro Bowl just a few miles away. There's also a pro hockey match at the Orlando Magic's Arena, so if you're in Central Florida and you like sports, this is the weekend for you. Got a heck of a volleyball match likely brewing here between these two teams who, at least here in Orlando, play each other tight. Both extended set affairs a season ago. Great defense by Camila Gomez. An eye off the block and down.
What an up by Gomez. She puts herself in the right position. She's got such a good read on the ball. She's nice and low and she can pop it up, recycle it up for her team. But if you give Adora Anai a second chance to take a swing at the ball, she's going to drive it through the block.
Camila Gomez's head coach, Laura Bird-Kuhn, also coached her in college and said, you know, she comes away and says, you know, I made this play, you didn't see me. And she said, I like to joke back at her, well, you're the shortest player on the floor.
And honestly, that works to be a libero. You're lower to the ground. As a libero, you need to be low, ready for anything, ready to scoop up any of those flat balls.
Lead down to 3, meanwhile, for Orlando. Back set, Abercrombie. Good pursuit there and a free ball to Orlando. Opportunity for the Valkyries, who go quickly to the middle, and Natalie Foster. Madison, you really like to see teams get aggressive off those free ball opportunities. They ran that ball right up to the net, and Foster wasted no time putting it down.
And that is the key. You get a 3 pass, you are in system. I say run through the middle as much as possible to open up those pins later on in the match.
Foster, who has made a name for herself in a variety of ways over the past year at SMU and early on in the Pro Volleyball Federation, partly because of that serve right there that pulled Omaha out of system. But nice work in transition for the Supernovas, who remain in touch with Orlando midway through the opening set.
Head coach of Omaha, Bird, said that the setter Valentine Anderson and Kelsey Payne have really good chemistry. We saw right there, great connection on that right side.
Kelsey Payne, one of the best players ever in Kansas history, recording her first kill of the match. And Brittany Abercrombie continues to rack them up here in set 1.
Brittany Abercrombie is absolutely insane. Great bump set by Shampoo, showing your experience there in the setter position. And then Brittany Abercrombie pinky down, taking care of that attack.
These two players played together in South Korea, so certainly familiar with one another. And a great 1-2 pickup, if you will, for Orlando, getting both of them in the offseason. Strong work by the Valkyries block. Schwann, turn back. Anai hesitates. And an illegal back row attack called against Adora Anai. Point to Omaha. (13-10) Orlando. Schwann, dug by Gomez. Good cover there off the joust by Goodpart. And a smart shot, rolling it over the net and the block. Courtney Schwann is off to a good start, number 4.
Courtney Schwann has played 7 years professional volleyball, so she's got a great volleyball IQ. She knows when to take something off of it. She can see the defense on their heels, and she knows how to put the ball away.
She is so strong, too, in the back row for Orlando. Really solidified things when she joined the Valkyries for the last 3 matches of last season, was brought back this year, and has looked to be one of the leaders. That was a beautiful swing down the line, though, by Omaha.
Watching that replay, you can just see how high Reagan Cooper gets up. She contacts that ball at such a high point, drops her pinky, and can drive it down the line.
Reagan Cooper, who last year played for the Columbus Fury. And off 1 foot, there's Kaz Brown on the slide. And Mads, when you run the 5-1 the way you have to in pro volleyball due to the limited subs, you need your setter, your middles to be good on 1 foot. Kaz Brown is one of the better middles I've seen in this league off 1 foot.
And one of the reasons why that's so effective too is you got Kaz Brown on the slide and then you have Brittany Abercrombie on that D-ball. So you have so much pressure from that right side, even though you're running a 5-1.
Violation called against Natalie Foster up at the net. Another point to Omaha. The lead really hovering around 3 here for Orlando. Omaha has been able to break that bubble. The Valkyries really haven't been able to stretch it too far beyond that as this serve floats in short. Anai found the back corner. That defense was pulled in toward the net, and there was plenty of space for number 14.
That was an absolutely gorgeous play that was run. Shampoo a little on a stack play, so the middle blocker for Omaha jumped with the opposing middle, Natalie Foster, and Adora Anai had anywhere she wanted to go.
Media time. Back underway here at Addition Financial Arena. Orlando leading it by 4, 16-12 after the first media timeout in Central Florida. Back row attack, Nunaviller dug by Yosea. And an off-speed roll by Adora Anai. We have seen the full repertoire of what Anai can do. We've seen her drop the hammer, and we've seen shots like this as well.
And that's what makes her so elite. She has so many offensive tools in her toolbox, and she knows when to pull them out.
So the lead up to 5. Pin to pin, and Payne puts that ball away. What a swing by Kelsey Payne.
And from where we're sitting, we can hear the communication on the Omaha Supernovas side, and I heard one of her teammates say high cross, high cross. So Kelsey Payne makes sure to swing nice and high off of the hands.
Payne, I mentioned, a decorated career in college at Kansas, has also played pro volleyball in Brazil, Switzerland, South Korea, Turkey, Italy, and most recently in the Athletes Unlimited League a year ago. Nunaviller off the block, and it is so much fun to watch Brooke Nunaviller, who was an All-American as an outside and a libero at Oregon and has been one of the best all-around players in the Pro Volleyball Federation.
She's absolutely unstoppable. She's one of the most athletic 6-rotation players in the league.
Anai off the edge of the block and out. Adora Anai is off to a great start. And it's interesting, Madison, because Amy Pauley told us that the matchups she liked in this match were off the right side and out of the middle. And yes, while Kaz Brown, Natalie Foster, and Brittany Abercrombie have gotten theirs, it has been primarily the pin attackers, Schwann and Anai, who have led the way for Orlando so far.
And Shampoo knows when a player is hot, so she's going to keep feeding Adora Anai, who has 5 kills so far in set 1.
18-14 Orlando. What a nice swing off the right side. Kelsey Payne with a couple of terrific looks on offense.
Kelsey Payne has Team USA experience. She's played in some of the top leagues in the world, Turkey, South Korea, Switzerland, Brazil. She is a true pros pro, and it's good to have her in the United States.
Couple of kills in this rotation through the front row for Kelsey Payne. Lindsay Vanderweide checks in, and this was a player that we saw in practice yesterday, regularly bouncing balls. It felt like we just needed to see her today, and sure enough, first set we do.
And she's got a really cool arm swing. It's kind of like a roundhouse arm swing, nice and smooth all the way through to her hip. Really impressive. She comes with a lot of power. Every single time she swings, she brings the power.
Came in from San Diego a season ago, where amongst her various accolades, a Pro Volleyball Federation high 30 kills here when she was with the Mojo late last season. That serve is long by Natalie Foster. She'll sub out for Shannon Scully. Each team gets 8 subs per set in the Pro Volleyball Federation. You don't count the subs for the liberos. Vanderweide snuck it inside the block. Omaha does well to dig it out. Nuneviller looking for high hands, got him, and that's another kill for Brooke.
And not only is it the approach that's explosive with Brooke Nuneviller, the way that she transitions off the net from blocking back to where she's going to start her approach is really quick and really explosive.
And a good run here for Omaha. I mentioned a few minutes ago that the bubble had kind of solidified for Orlando at 3. Didn't get too much bigger and certainly hadn't gotten any smaller. With that swing by Brooke Nuneviller, it's down to 2. Back here in Orlando, the Valkyries lead set 1 19-17. Big swing there by Abercrombie, dug by Valentine Anderson. Out of system, Nuneviller with a smart shot, rolling it over the top of the block.
And it was the setter, Valentine Anderson, who kept that play alive. She is most definitely the best defensive setter in the league. She's so quick twitch, and she's around 4th in the league in digs.
And that is an ace serve by the Supernovas, who have come all the way back to knock things up at 19. So Payne, who has been leading the charge here over the last handful of points, drops in the ace, then drops in an error. Point and lead back to Orlando. And just to go back to Nadi Valentine Anderson, averaging over 4 digs per set so far this season. That's not just best of all the setters, that's one of the best numbers in the entire league. Nuneviller puts it down, and Brooke Nuneviller is feeling some kind of way here late in set 1.
Valentine Anderson going down to her knees to get that set right to Brooke Nuneviller's shoulder, who swings nice and high, really strong to that 6th position.
5 kills on 11 swings in this opening set for Brooke. Vanderweide to turn back. Brown tried to shove it to the corner. Vanderweide dug up and out by Brooke Nuneviller, and Orlando leads once again 21-20. Again, a reminder to claim a set in volleyball that's first to 25, win by 2. If you don't lead by 2 at the 25 mark, we'll go beyond. Back row, Payne. Missed the sideline. Point Orlando.
The Omaha Supernovas run through the back row attack very often, whether on that BIC or on that D ball. Kelsey Payne rarely misses that swing.
Coach Bird went so far, Madison, to call it Omaha's alpha.
And I love that. I was watching one of their matches earlier on this season, and it was my first note was how often and how effective that back row attack is. It really takes this Omaha Supernovas to the next level.
Here's Allison Witten, who Omaha ran a 2 libero system. They've since gone to a 1 libero system, and Witten comes in as a serve sub. And hey, if she digs a ball or two and it looks good, she says, we'll keep her in there defensively. But Witten won't even get a chance to dig a ball up because Orlando blew up the Omaha block, so she subs out. Camila Gomez checks back in. And Orlando once again leads by 2, 23-21. Cooper puts it down in a hurry. Third kill of the first set for Reagan Cooper.
Last season, Reagan Cooper was named PVF's Rising Star Award Rookie of the Year with Columbus. And it's funny, the name Rising Star is perfect for her because she has such a vertical and she rises above all those other blocks.
Big swing there by number 8 for Omaha, trimming the lead to 1. High reach for Anai, and that's good enough. The off-speed shot falls, and Orlando has arrived at set point.
Adora Anai has 8 kills, hitting almost 500. That hitting efficiency from an outside is as elite as they come.
Shampoo Goodpard back to serve. Out of the middle. Poor dug by Yosea. Opportunity here for Orlando. Abercrombie and the Valkyries claim set 1, 25-22.
The Valkyries in set 1 hit over 400. Extremely efficient offense from the Orlando Valkyries.
Another look well worth it for Abercrombie and Orlando, who claim set 1 over Omaha. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida. The Pro Volleyball Federation on YouTube as Omaha takes on Orlando from Edition Financial Arena on the campus of the University of Central Florida. And a fun start to this one with Orlando winning at 25-22 over Omaha. Sean Davison alongside Madison Fitzpatrick here with you for the call. Madison, what was your overarching impression after set one between these two teams?
The hitting efficiency on the Orlando Valkyries side was phenomenal. In total, they hit 415 as a team. Adora and I led the way. 9 kills in set one, hitting 500. And because this hitting efficiency was so strong, it also shows how elite their defense was. They were keeping themselves in system and had really clean touches on the ball.
Yeah, as good a start as you can imagine if you're a fan of Orlando, taking on the reigning champs, the Supernovas, as we get back underway here in set number 2. It's Adora Anai with kill number 10. And Madison, just to follow up your thought on Anai's first set, I'm going to go back to the Valkyries' last match in Grand Rapids. She had 11 kills for the match and hit at 0, so she's now above 500 and at 10 at the start of set 2 today.
Talk about turning it around, and when she heats up, she really heats up, and she's hot this match.
Career high 27 set earlier this season by Anai. Abercrombie recycles it off the block. Another swing for number 6 in that light blue, and that is a smart swing. The sideline was open, and she found it.
Brittany Abercrombie contacts that ball at such a high point. First of all, wonderful out-of-system set. The Pro Volleyball Federation has great out-of-system setters, really clean second contact on the ball, and Brittany Abercrombie takes care of it.
Great first ball there by Gomez. Backside Payne, dug by Goodpart. Payne blows up the block for a kill of her own.
Kelsey Payne has a really quick arm swing, so if you're the blockers, you have to be very disciplined, very technically sound. You have to point those palms back into the court, drop the pinky, or you're going to get tooled.
That sends one of the 2 middles for Omaha back. That's Caitlin Horde, number 23. Abercrombie gets another kill.
We've seen a lot of range from Brittany Abercrombie. We've seen her take something off of it. We've seen her hit from the back row. We've seen her swing high hands to the deep corner, and right there, turning it down the line, showing us all of that range.
And Omaha's head coach, Laura Bird-Kuhn, told us, Madison, it's an acknowledgement of the kind of volleyball she's been playing. You win Athletes Unlimited. She's played a lot of volleyball, but she's played it at an extremely high level. She said she's going to get hers. She is going to score. And so that is something that she wants her team to sort of keep in mind. You know, you can't get down if you can't stop her, because virtually nobody has.
Exactly. And Coach Amy Polly talks about getting 1% better. Brittany Abercrombie's 1% better. She said she's going to score points, like you said. So this one's a behavior change. She wants to see her step up, hold her teammates accountable, and be more of a leader.
So far, so good in this match as Conrad, the towel guy, makes his way off the court. And there you saw us sitting there as well. It's great to make the move down to the floor this season here in Orlando. Kayla Caffey with an off-speed tip out of the middle. Abercrombie swats it off the block. Nunaviller, sharp angle out of system. Anai rises and fires. Cooper back row. Schwann, heavy cross. Opportunity here for the Valkyries. And out of the middle, it's Natalie Foster.
During the entirety of that play, I was just thinking, man, I love volleyball. It is so much fun to watch. And what's fun about this rally is I think almost every single attacker hit the ball. Natalie Foster is the 2nd most efficient attacker in the league, is only a rookie. So I like the decision off of that nice clean contact from Courtney Schwann to run through Natalie Foster.
And when you look at hitters in this league, because the most efficient attacker is August Rasky, who is a setter who calls her own number at Grand Rapids. So when you look at hitters, she is the most efficient hitter in the league so far. And what a swing that was by Kayla Caffey.
That was an absolute dynamite of a swing. So much power. Kayla Caffey running that set in front of the setter. Nice high contact on the ball, and all she had to do was snap and avoid the block.
Nice first ball contact there by Shannon Scully. Back row Cooper, dug by Scully, overpass though. And Orlando cleans that ball up at the net. Whew. That was interesting.
Coach Amy Pauley said the defensive adjustment is they need stronger hands. They need a block for points. Right there, that was a beautiful example of that.
Foster back to serve, and that's a service error. And she might miss a bit. And obviously, you don't want to see service errors. But the one player that Amy Pauley said, we're just going to, there's going to be no leash whatsoever. We're just going to let her go and do what she does because her serve, when it's on, is dynamic, is number 13, Natalie Foster, who had 64 aces in the ACC for SMU last year. Payne. No hands, that's out, point Orlando.
Some misconnections with Kelsey Payne on that D-ball, and I said it before, but that's rare. Usually she's very efficient from that back row attack.
And Madison, how much of that, too, Coach Bird told us she is a very easy player to play with. She doesn't ask for much, and Naudi Valentin Anderson is the type of setter that she wants to help you as best as she can. How much is the fact that she's okay with whatever set, even if it's not where she wants it to be? How much might that loom into some of those misconnections?
I totally appreciate that, and I can definitely empathize with that because when I was a player, I also was, no, my fault. Like, I can swing at anything. So I think taking accountability and then stepping up and communicating more is definitely the next part of her game.
Service error there by Brittany Abercrombie. Lead at 4 for Orlando. The Valkyries got out of the gates really strong against Taiba Hanif Park's San Diego Mojo. A straight set sweep in the league opener in week 1. And they've gotten off to a strong start in every match, just haven't been able to sustain it to the same success. But they have made all the hustle plays, all the effort plays so far. That ball too hot to handle for Shannon Scully. That's a nice swing by Omaha. I believe that was Nunaviller who came in there and dropped the cannon.
And that's how much Omaha runs through their back row. They were setting Kelsey Payne in the back row, and then they went to Brooke Nunaviller.
Nunaviller, Payne, and Reagan Cooper all comfortable from the back row. Brittany Abercrombie is comfortable from the back row as well. She hammers that D-ball home.
Brittany Abercrombie, you already said it, but she tied the PVF 5-set record for kills with 30 kills. She can rack up some major points, and it's because she can paint any area of the court with that swing.
4-point lead for Orlando. Good first ball there off 1 foot. Horde. An eye. Dug in the back row by Nunaviller, but a net violation called against Omaha. Point to the Valkyries.
The Valkyries hit 415 in the first set. Here in the second set, they're hitting 467. The offensive efficiency is on full display for Orlando.
An aggressive serve there by Courtney Schwann. And Madison, Amy Pauley was challenging her team. Bring the height of the serve down instead of it floating up high, even above the level of the antenna.
Yep, yesterday at practice, they practiced making their serves more flat under the second red stripe on the antenna, if you can see that from your TV screen.
So they have really been taking that to heart. They've caught the tape a few times, but it has worked out just the same so far in this match. Abercrombie induces the overdig. Scully runs it up to Goodpard. Brown dug. And Cooper tools Kaz Brown. Smart swing by Reagan Cooper out at the pin number 8.
And the defenses on both sides are why we have such long rallies. Gomez for Omaha puts herself in the perfect position, squares those hips to the attacker, and keeps the play alive for Reagan Cooper to get the kill.
Naudi Valentin Anderson back to serve. 3 attackers in the front row for Omaha. An eye tips it over the top of the block and found the open space on the Terraflex.
That tip barely cleared the net, and that's how much confidence Adora Anai has in her ball control and her vision. She sees the block up and pressed and knows she can just give it a little tap and it'll get the kill.
Service error there by Kaz Brown, too hot through the back. Lead down to 3 momentarily here for Orlando. That'll send Reagan Cooper back to serve, who coming into this match has 8 aces on the season. She had 8 all of last year. Nunaviller off the top of the block. Anai goes to the tip once more. Picked up by Nunaviller. And Cooper off balance. Rolls it over. Nothing off balance about that swing by Natalie Foster.
Across the last two matches, Natalie Foster had a breakout week with back-to-back season highs to finish with 21 kills throughout those two matches. And not only is she racking up some points, she's doing it extremely efficient.
Yeah, she has burst onto the scene in a big way for Orlando this season. One of those real clear rising stars early on in year 2 for the Pro Volleyball Federation. Good pursuit by the Supernovas. Hanging in the rally for the moment. Anai puts it down and puts that rally to an end in a hurry.
The Orlando Valkyries are running a pretty tricky offense. The opposing block jumping with Natalie Foster, not all the way lined up on Adora Anai, and that opens up Adora Anai's vision to get the kill.
Good part. Serves cross. Abercrombie there for the pancake. And a free ball to Omaha. Cooper, dug by Yosia. And a free ball once again to Omaha. Cooper again. Missed the sideline, no touch call, point Orlando.
The Supernovas offense is not clicking as efficiently as it usually does. A lot more errors on their side of the net than usual.
What do you make of the block defense and the defense in general by Orlando?
It's been really good. They've been getting great block touches, strong hands at the net, and right there, nice read by Brittany Abercrombie, seeing the tip coming, delaying her jump and shoving it down.
Coach Bird has seen enough. Omaha calls a timeout. The Valkyries lead by 7 at the midway point here in set number 2. Welcome back to the campus of UCF for Pro Volleyball Federation play in the Sunshine State. Omaha taking on Orlando. Shampoo Goodpard back to serve once more for the Valkyries, who have opened up a 7-point lead in set number 2 after winning set 1 by 3, 25-22. Best 3 out of 5 for the match. It's one the Valkyries feel they absolutely need to remain in the race early on this season. And with every errant swing by the Supernovas, Orlando inches ever closer. And that puts Orlando at 16 points here in this second set, which means we got another media timeout. We'll step aside once more in Central Florida. Well, the Valkyries have the armor on, and they are in full attack mode so far through a couple of sets of action here at Edition Financial Arena. Madison hitting north of 400 as a team, still 2/3 of the way through set number 2.
And get this, in set number 2 alone, the Valkyries have 17 digs. They are digging up balls left and right, and they're holding the Omaha Supernovas to a negative hitting efficiency in this set.
It was an Omaha team that, despite dropping the first set, hit 290, which is about 70 points higher than their season average in set 1. Set 2 has just been an Orlando onslaught, largely from the drop. Anai has led the charge on offense for the Valkyries, and she continues to have a strong showing midway through the second frame.
Adora Anai's success is a culmination of a lot of things. Right there, I think it was her quick arm swing and her snap on the ball.
13th kill on 23 swings for Adora Anai. And now she comes away with the block. That ball clipped a piece of board on its way out, so credit Anai for the block. And Orlando leads by 10. Another strong swing. Omaha has sent Kendra Waite in to run the offense here in set number 2. I like the decision to go set or dump there on that tight ball to the net, Madison. But Orlando, so far in this set, feels like they're pitching a no-hitter.
Absolutely. When it rains, it pours for the Valkyries, and we're really seeing that on full display, hitting 429 as a team in this set alone. 19 digs, 12 assists, 3 blocks. So not just offensively they're on, defensively they're on as well.
Back here in Orlando, the Valkyries rolling over Omaha, at least so far, winning set 1 25-22 and leading set 2 by a score of 19-8. Lost in the big picture. This is an extended service rotation for Shampoo Goodpart. And that just put an end to it. Reagan Cooper out of the back row. Omaha going back to what they like to do, running that back row, whether it's the Bick for their 2 outsides, Nunaviller and Cooper, or the D ball with their right side Payne Madison.
And that's one of the parts of their offense that needed to get going and to heat up. So I like the decision to switch up the setters, get new chemistry on, and see how they handle it.
Out of the middle, Natalie Foster puts another ball down. That's another kill for number 13.
When speaking with Coach Bird earlier today at Serve and Pass, she said their greatest weakness is if their block isn't established. I'm talking about the Omaha Supernovas now. She said if our block isn't established, that's when we're not playing to our full potential. And I think right now they're moving on their block. They don't have a good read, and that's what's causing this lead.
Yeah, she said their defense starts with their block, and it just has not been cooperating with them, at least so far in this match. Speaking of cooperating, friendly bounce off the top of the tape there for Omaha, and at this point in time, every break you can get, you will take in the second set.
Absolutely, and you're building momentum. Even if you're not going to take this set, you're building momentum because momentum carries on into the next set. So you're looking to set 3 to get into a rhythm and to get some chemistry.
If Orlando claims the second set, the path for Omaha would have to be in a reverse sweep. Orlando would be on the doorstep with any set win in 3, 4, or 5 to claim the match themselves. That ball was tight to the net. Natalie Foster called for being in it on the attack. That'll send Kendra Waite back to serve. Nice ball there by Adora Anai. Abercrombie dug. And she could not navigate that block. So the little pieces maybe starting to come together here in this latter, let's just call it the latter third of set 2, Madison, for Omaha. If there's enough time, we'll see, but some positive steps nonetheless.
Exactly. It's about carrying momentum, gaining momentum into the next set. And the fact that Coach Bird kind of switched up the lineup, put some new faces in, and Londot, that just shows how much depth she has on her side too, and she's using it.
Speaking of Londot, there she is with the big block. Timeout, Orlando. Londot giving the Supernovas a boost. They've trimmed the lead to 7. Back here in Orlando, the Omaha Supernovas trying to extend the second set. They've done a good job of it. Coach Bird bringing in some fresh faces. Kendra Waite back to serve is one of those who checked in recently. Brittany Abercrombie has been a factor from the start for Orlando, and that's another kill for number 6.
Brittany Abercrombie has hit every single area of the court. She has so much range. They're dropping her thumb. Nice sharp swing by her in front of the 10-foot line.
21-13 Valkyries. Foster missed the end line.
We talked about Natalie Foster's serve at SMU, and I talked to her head coach at SMU. She kind of said the same thing that Amy Pauley said. Coach Sam Erger said, we just give her the green light. We let her go because it's a high-risk, high-reward serve.
That ball swatted out of play, point to Orlando, and shout out to Coach Erger, Trent Sorns, and that entire coaching staff. The program that they have developed in just a few short years, becoming a massive factor in the ACC, knocking off Nebraska, knocking off Pitt in the regular season. And when you see Foster, who featured for them last season in the middle, doing what she's doing in the pro ranks, they are developing talent in Dallas in a hurry.
Easily a fan favorite team. They were the Cinderella story of the season. Every season needs one, and it was all them. This time I got to call one of their games versus Louisville. So much fun to watch. Such a gritty, blue-collar mentality kind of team.
Keep an eye out for their senior setter, Celia Colin. I was surprised that she didn't end up somewhere in the Pro Volleyball Federation this season. We'll see as it goes on if Celia makes her way to the PVF. It would certainly be great to see her have an opportunity as well. Abercrombie has had an opportunity to make an impact in Orlando this season, and she has risen to the occasion time and time again.
Watch Abercrombie on that D-ball. Looks like the block of Reagan Cooper was just a little too early. She was on her way down as Brittany Abercrombie was attacking that ball. There's a lot of holes in the Omaha Supernovas defense right now.
And Orlando, to their credit, has largely found the vast majority of them. Londot, smart shot. What a jump off the bench Londot has been for Omaha. She has come in, was ready to contribute, and that she has.
And Kendra Waite, the setter, both of them rookies, but Kendra Waite just did a really good job at holding Kaz Brown on her, disguising who she was going to set and mixing it up nicely.
Coach Bird said that Londot's one of a couple of players, Lindsey Krause is another, are ready to come in as a sub and blow some people up with what they can do to a volleyball, and she certainly has done that. Abercrombie was trying to do the same from the back row for Orlando, but missed the sideline. It's been a good push by Omaha. The lead is down to 6. with Orlando just a couple of points away from perhaps winning the first 2 sets. But when you trail by 6 late, you have no margin for error. So although Londot has been strong off the bench, that error proves costly. Orlando has set point and a handful of them here in set number 2. Ford, dug by Schwann. Abercrombie put an end to set 1. Not yet. Londot, dug by Schwann. Out of system, Anai tipped, picked up by Londot. And that finds the back line. Omaha gritty and battling here late in set 2, just trying to find ways to scratch off points and stay in the set. So far, so good.
And the Supernovas rookies are really stepping up. They have a young team. They have a pro debut of 8 rookies in 2025, and they're all stepping up.
7 of whom were playing college just this past season. Nunaviller, dug by Schwann. Abercrombie off the block and out. Brittany Abercrombie puts an end to set 1 and set 2 for Orlando, who races out to a 2-0 lead at the intermission.
Courtney Schwann's middle back defense is absolutely incredible. What a great up by her. Out of system set by Adora Nye that went perfectly to Brittany Abercrombie's left hand. Beautiful display of offensive and defensive dominance by the Valkyries in this set.
So with that said, we will step aside for intermission festivities here at Edition Financial Arena. Great start to the match for Orlando, leading 2-0. Intermission underway here in the Sunshine State. The homestanding Orlando Valkyries winning the first 2 sets over the Omaha Supernovas, what could be perhaps Orlando's biggest win really in franchise history. Welcome courtside Sean Davison alongside the beach volleyball All-American at Florida State, Madison Fitzpatrick. And Madison, I want to start with Orlando for obvious reasons. They're playing great, but we were at their practice yesterday and Amy Pauley was imploring her team, play to win, make the plays with the desire to win. and execute in that fashion. She also told us, she said, look, we've had a rough go of it. I don't want my team to feel sorry for themselves. I want them to have a hunger to win. They're showing it so far.
They are, and her message to the team yesterday at practice, like you said, was practice like we are winning tomorrow. So we saw the mindset yesterday at practice. They're tired of losing. They are locked in. They are zonal focused. The practice was really competitive. We saw a lot of long rallies. They practiced aggressive serving. They practiced out of system setting, which was really, really good tonight. And you can tell they want it. They're tired of losing, and here they are practicing or playing to win.
Going back to last season when Omaha played here, and one of the couple of five-setters that these two teams played in Central Florida, I remember Coach Bird, she brought in Sydney Hilly at one point and just gave Orlando a different look. In set 2, late going, in comes Kendra Waite, in comes Emily Londot. Feels kind of similar, and it felt like Omaha was putting pieces together at the end of the set. It'll be interesting to see if that sort of, massaging of the lineup pays off again.
And that's one of the strengths of the Omaha Supernovas. They're a young team, but their rookies are very, very talented. Both Kendra Waite and Emily Londot had fantastic careers in college. They're coming up. They're ready to play. It's a next man up kind of mentality, and they have a whole lot of depth on the Supernova side.
Well, this much is true if you're Omaha. Every set from here through the balance is a must-win set. Orlando as few as one away from claiming their first ever match over the Supernovas here in Central Florida. Welcome back to Addition Financial Arena on the campus of UCF in Orlando, Florida, where the Orlando Valkyries are off to an impressive start over the reigning champs, the Omaha Supernovas. Several weeks now into Pro Volleyball Federation play. Sean Davison alongside the All-American at Florida State in Madison Fitzpatrick. And Mads, we had just talked sort of big picture about how these teams got here in the balance of the match. Orlando's mentality, you can see how aggressive they're playing. Omaha is trying some different things here as of the last handful of points in set number 2. It'll be interesting to see what they roll out with in set number 3 to that point. Any other thoughts, at least so far through the first 2 sets?
Well, the stats don't lie. Orlando is holding Omaha to a 169 hitting efficiency, while Orlando themselves are hitting 397, so really efficient from side to side, front to back, all of it. Orlando Valkyries also have 36 kills to Omaha's 20. So the stats are pretty indicative of the way that this match has gone, but the Omaha Supernovas have some incredible leaders. They have a whole lot of depth. They've got some powerhouse attackers. I would not expect them to go anywhere. It's going to be a dogfight to the very end.
And as we continue to take a look at the highlights, I want to shout out a couple of different players. One being Shampoo Goodpart, who it feels like Madison has really spread the ball around and made this offense even trickier than usual to stop.
Coach Amy Pauley told us yesterday that Shampoo's Goodpart's, one of her strengths is her ability to create holes and gaps in the block with how much she balances out the offense and the placement of the sets. She runs a really efficient offense because of that.
Meanwhile, yes, Orlando has done a good job of blocking here so far today. The other player I want to shout out is Shannon Scully. When you talk about holding an Omaha team that has so much firepower to below 200 hitting percentage through the first two sets, it's not all on the shoulders of your libero, but they are going to carry a lot of that weight. Scully, who, as she said, only played one semester of libero in college, has 10 digs, 5 out-of-system assists, and this is an Orlando defense that has really stymied Omaha without Georgia Murphy on the floor. She's not available today because she's sick.
That is incredible. Shannon Scully's ability to come in and step up in the left back position, which her and I were talking about it yesterday at practice. It is so different to play left back than it is middle back. I mean, the way that you line up, your vision, everything is different. So I also think that Shannon Scully's experience playing beach volleyball at USC definitely comes into play here. She's a really scrappy defender.
We get underway here in set number 3, and the fresh faces that finished off set 2 are back. Waite setting Londot, going line, and Londot starts off the scoring in set number 3.
That was a sniper of a swing. Back row attack by Londot, who drives it deep down the line, catching Shannon Scully a little high, and she wasn't able to angle her platform to get the dig.
Emily Londot 5 times on the All-Big Ten team, 3 times an All-American at Ohio State. Joust at the net, Kendra Waite puts it down.
That was an aggressive mindset by Kendra Waite. She's in the front row, so she has the ability to attack the ball over, and that's what makes her an elite setter, is her aggressive mindset.
It's fun to see so many players on this Omaha team that played college in Nebraska somewhere. There's a couple of players, including Waite, who played at Creighton, which is in Omaha. Orlando strong at the net through the balance of the match so far, and once again flexing some of that strength. Abercrombie took care of that ball, hovering over the tape.
Look at the vision of Abercrombie, who dives those arms into the angle, shoving down that ball. She's got really good vision and discipline as a blocker.
That one into the bottom of the tape. Adora and I got crossed up there clearly. 3-1 Omaha.
You see the Valkyries trying to make their serves flat. That's what they practiced yesterday at practice.
That sends Kayla Caffey back to serve. She goes cross to Schwann. Out of the middle, Foster, dug by Londot for the moment, but Omaha wasn't able to get it across.
Natalie Foster can hit sharp angles. She can break out that long, smooth, deep drive to the corner. She can pretty much hit every area of the court, and she creates a whole lot of angles for herself with how high she attacks the ball.
A player who Amy Pauley describes as having just an elite arm, and it's one that she's largely developed on her own without too much coaching. Anai tried to set that ball to the pin and set it into Young Park, our up referee. Park is joined by our down referee, so to say, Nathan Mahaven, which in year 2 of the Pro Volleyball Federation, there isn't a down referee on the near side over by where our booth is. Instead, Nathan is at the monitor, and that's done to speed up the review process, which is down another handful of seconds per review this season. No need for a review there. That was in. Reagan Cooper finds the sideline, and Omaha's off to their best start in any set so far, leading at 5-2 in the third.
It's a nice way to respond by Omaha, who's taking care of the ball at a higher clip in this set.
That's an ace. What a lift Waite and Londot have provided here for Omaha.
These are some controllable errors by the Valkyries. A little set miscommunication, an ace there. They've really got to lock in and clean it up if they're going to get back in it.
Less than ideal first contact there by Adora Anai. Londot rejected by the block, got a hand on it, and swatted it out of play. So Orlando sides out and trails by 3 with Abercrombie back to serve. And that's an ace.
There's that deep flat float serve that they practiced yesterday. I believe that was under the red line, which is what they're trying to do on the antennas. Keep it flat, make it float, try to paint the end line.
First ace of the match for Orlando. That's tight. Off the D ball, Abercrombie finds the back corner.
And Abercrombie is in an absolute rhythm. She's delivering some really aggressive serves behind the service line, providing some service pressure, giving her defense a chance to recycle the ball up, and then she took care of it there herself.
Poured out of system. Sets Cooper, dug by Anai. Right to the net and good part. Cooper. Roofed, was it in? No. Point Omaha.
Cass Brown is one of those players that I would like to see heat up in this set. She only has 2 kills, but she doesn't have a ton of attempts. They've only set her 8 times. She's got no errors, hitting .250.
Another look off the right side and the back row for Abercrombie. That missed everything. Point for the Supernovas. So a couple of points in a row for Omaha after Orlando trimmed the lead down to 1. That missed the sideline by Reagan Cooper.
Reagan Cooper was really going for it there. She's really stepped up her service pressure in this season. Now she's a second-year pro. And the Omaha Supernovas lost Betty De La Cruz, who was the top server in the league last year, so it's good that Cooper stepped up.
Also helps when Brooke Nuneviller decides to come back for a second season of Pro Volleyball Federation play. Had Orlando off balance there. Yosia on the run, got it to Adora Anai. Misconnection there for Omaha. Anai, dug by Gomez. Cooper rises and fires, dug by Schwann. Abercrombie kept up by Londot. What a gritty rally. Tight, and Nuneviller runs out of room.
I think 3 different players for the Valkyries were on the floor at one point throughout that play. I mean, so gritty. That was such a never say die kind of play. The defense on both sides, phenomenal, and just an out-of-system set that didn't go their way. That was a hard attempt by Gomez. Over the shoulder, back set to the left pin. That's not an easy set to make.
Understandably, Orlando needs the floor wiped up.
They got to wipe up the whole floor after that one. Everyone was on the ground.
Yeah, Conrad, the towel man here in Orlando. Does he get an all-star game nomination? Like, is he going to get to wipe up the floor in Indy?
He should. He's definitely a fan favorite, not just here, but throughout the league.
I mean, does he have any competition in the first place?
Columbus has some pretty cool guys who wear suits with black glasses, and they wipe up the floor to a song, but I think ours is better.
Guys who wear suits to wipe up the floor. Now that is commitment. I do have to give Columbus credit for that. Orlando, give them credit for manning the net well, and the Valkyries have fought their way back to level here in set 3.
And it starts with service pressure. The Valkyries have done a good job at amping it up behind the service line.
Schwann hunts the sideline. Londot off the block and out. Emily Londot. That is now kill number 4 on 7 swings for number 27, in Omaha. Really hasn't had a ton of looks coming into this match, has Londot. Has played in 4 of Omaha's 6 matches, but only 5 combined sets in them. So this is her first real significant look, and my goodness, she has been impressive. Good defense by Orlando. That's still up. We play on. Not anymore. Emily Londot snipes the sideline.
Talk about bursting onto the scene. Emily Londot, just a rookie. She was drafted number 10 overall in the 2nd round of the draft, and that was a get for the Omaha Supernovas. She's coming out playing really aggressively and very confident.
Nearly 2,300 career kills at Ohio State, 2nd all-time in program history for the Buckeyes. Kaz Brown, you mentioned number 11 for Orlando. She's been efficient. She just hasn't had a whole lot of looks on offense. There she is, cashing in again.
And that was a nice in-system pass by Adora Nye. She took it high hands. Great to her setter, and then Kaz Brown is very effective behind the setter.
That serve was well handled, and that is good offense by Omaha.
And that was a really good decision by Kendra Waite. She got the middle blocker, Natalie Foster for Orlando, jumping with the opposing middle, Kayla Caffey, and then she sent that to the outside, creating holes in the block.
4-time Big East champion with the Creighton Blue Jays, who made it to the Elite 8. Gave Penn State all they wanted before Katie Schumacher-Cawley and the Nittany Lions eventually won a national championship. Londot, what a swing that was. Great defense there by Schwann. Oh, Kendra Waite just had to laugh. She tried to back set one of her teammates, and I'm not sure who that would have gone to because it just sort of rolled off the fingertips.
And you know what? I love that she laughed after that. That's a mistake that doesn't really happen very often. She's not taking herself too seriously, and that's very forgivable. She's an absolutely elite setter.
Omaha still leads by 1. Nunaviller off speed. Got Orlando scrambling. Londot drops the hammer. Yosia got to it, and what great defense by the Valks. Abercrombie, dug by Londot. Cooper, off the back row attack, hammers it to the Terraflex.
That ball is hit at such a sharp trajectory. As a back row attacker, it's really difficult to get that kind of height on the attack and swing down in the way that she did, but it's because she has so much vertical. She's really explosive. She contacts that ball at its highest point, and she snaps at the right time.
It feels like Cooper has been relatively quiet, but you look at the stat sheet, that is her 10th kill on 28 swings. And to me, Madison, service error there by Omaha, but to me, Madison, that is the ultimate compliment for somebody who is such a good player. When it feels quiet and then you look at the stat sheet and you go, whoa.
Exactly, and you know, she's leading her team as well. Brooke Nunaviller is next up with 7 kills. But I was surprised to see she had 10 too. She's very poised and kind of a sneaky attacker.
That was tied to the net. Good decision there by Waite to go ahead and dump it over and see if she can't get Orlando scrambling. Great defense by Gomez. Schwann, smart shot over the block and down.
Courtney Schwann just needs to be on the court. Her defense, first of all, her ball control is almost as elite as they come. She was in that 4 area, nice pass on the ball by her, good read, and then she went back to what she knows because she saw that open area of the court. Really good vision by her.
Kill number 5 for Courtney Schwann. Cooper. Targeted on serve, receive, and goes on the attack. How about another pancake by Gomez? No digging that one up, though. There's the block for Orlando.
Gomez is so much fun to watch. First of all, she's really fast, moving forward really quickly. And then the block for Orlando is an absolute wall. The timing is correct. They're pressed at the right time. Their hands are turned into the court. Very disciplined block by them.
third block of the set by the Valkyries, who had 4 in the first 2 sets. It felt like there were maybe more than there were in the first 2 sets. They've nearly doubled that here in set 3.
And they're outblocking Omaha 8 blocks to Omaha's 2. So defensively at the net, Orlando is winning that battle.
And there you go. I jumped ahead of the stat feed. Orlando has, in fact, doubled their block count in this set alone. Out of the middle, Natalie Foster. Boy, she has looked so incredibly offensive already this season. And with that swing, the Valkyries open up a 2-point lead. Timeout, Omaha. We'll take it with them. Back here in Central Florida, my, what do we have here? Orlando raced out of the gates, won the first 2 sets. The first one was tight, the second one nowhere close until maybe toward the end when Omaha chipped into what had been as large as a 10-point lead for the Valkyries. And this is a set that Omaha largely controlled early, but Orlando finds themselves in front 14-12. What a set by Goodpard. That attack goes wanting, but gracious,
wow.
What a ball that was.
Back row to front row, pin to pin, over her shoulder, not even looking. I mean, that is incredible. She kept her weight behind it, used that power to push it all the way to the pin.
Schwann finds the back corner.
We talked about Courtney Schwann's offense. She's got 6 kills, hitting .267. Defensively, 14 digs in this 3-setter so far, leading the team in digs.
Foster. Cooper. Dug by Foster. The Orlando bench exploded when the middle came up big on defense, and then the Valkyries transitioned out of it, Mads.
You know how that has to feel so good by Natalie Foster, ripping that serve, going to left back, which is where the liberos go, and just popping that ball nice and up.
Three-point lead for Orlando, who's won the first 2 sets of this match between the Supernovas and the Valkyries at Edition Financial Arena. Would certainly be the biggest win of the season for Orlando and arguably in franchise history. As Natalie Foster goes back to serve once more. That is long.
Natalie Foster has a high-risk, high-reward serve. They give her the green light. They let her go for it. She contacts that ball really high and it's got a whip of an arm, and the fact that it floats so much makes it really difficult to pass.
And it's got some funky movement and wobble to it. It's like a knuckleball in a way.
Yes.
That ball was out of play, and that is another point for the Valkyries. Courtney Schwann credited.
This is one of the reasons why I love Bolt 6. It's quick, it's exact. It's not to the judgment of a line judge, even though I do love line judges, but it's very factual.
Camila Gomez once again has been terrific on defense. She has kept Omaha in rallies longer in some cases than they probably should. And there she is again with another quick twitch effort to keep the Supernovas alive. There she is again. But the whistle is blown by Young Park, and the point is awarded to the Valkyries. But man, the effort by Camila Gomez has been unbelievable to see in person.
She makes these awesome diving saves. She's got at least 2 pancakes a set. I mean, she is all over the place, giving her team her all.
I don't know if we can track that for everybody in the league, but I guarantee you she's got to be close to the top in pancakes per set. Off one foot, there's Kaz Brown. And you just feel like Orlando is applying more and more pressure, and Omaha continues to bend until there's an open gap, and then the Valks make them pay.
Exactly, there's a hole in the block. Kaz Brown so good off one foot, takes advantage and gets the kill.
And with that, Orlando leads by 5, closing in on perhaps a straight set win. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida, where the Orlando Valkyries have established a 5-point lead in this third set, a must-win set for the Omaha Supernovas here in Central Florida. Back row, Nunaviller. Off speed, Abercrombie. And the Supernovas scratch that ball across. That's tight. Ondot just gives it a shove. Look at Yosia. Boy, Omaha put an end to that rally, but it has been hard for the Supernovas to put balls down against Orlando today.
And one of the reasons why is because of how balanced Shambu is running this offense. She's got the D-ball possibility, the outside to Courtney Schwann, the middle to Kaz Brown, who can go off of 1 foot or 2 feet in front of the setter or behind, and then to Dora Nye in the back row. So all of the options that the Valkyries have are making it difficult for the Supernovas to block, but not there. That was a great read, very disciplined, nice strong hands over the net.
Coach Bird going deeper into the bench. Phoebe Awulea checking in now for Omaha. Abercrombie gives it a shove. Back row, Cooper. Dug by an eye. Abercrombie dug by Waite. This will be an out-of-system ball for Landa. It's again out of system for Londot. And there's another block for Omaha. They say their defense starts with the block, and it is coming up big here over the last handful of points to cut the lead to 3. 19-16 Orlando, but Omaha's got the momentum. Back here in Orlando, the lead down to 3 in this third set for the Valkyries, who, if they can find a way to close this set out, they close the match out in straights over Omaha, the reigning Pro Volleyball Federation champions. And that service error by Reagan Cooper puts the Valkyries in the red zone. The final 5 points of a particular set. Courtney Schwann serves. Nunaville, cross, picked up by Osea. Nobody there to cover for Orlando, and that is block number 3 for Londot.
And Omaha has 3 blocks in this set. Those 3 blocks have come in the last 4 points. So the block has really locked in. They're moving very quickly side to side. They're closing the blocks and not having a lot of holes, and that was one of the things that the Valkyries were taking advantage of, was all that space in the block. Well, that's not there anymore.
And I'll give all of you at home a little tip. When you do play-by-play in color, you kind of live moment to moment, so the short-term memory isn't always the greatest. I can assure you that 2 of those blocks were Londot. I don't know about the third, but she has been impressive. I don't know what the final stat line is going to be for Emily Londot, but I think she has made her case that as often as Coach Bird can get her in, she's earned it. Defensively and offensively, she's made some great digs, keeping the play alive for her team, and then she brings a whole lot of power and confidence just as a rookie. Nunaville brings a whole lot of power and confidence as well. Got the touch, got the kill, and this third set gets ever tighter. That's only her 2nd kill in this set on 8 attempts, hitting 125 in this set. Yeah, if you're Omaha, you would love to get number 5 going. Out of the middle, Foster dug by guess who? Londot. Off 1 foot, Foster. Dug up by Waite. Nunaviller. Picked up by Scully. Great defense in this rally, both sides. But I believe that'll be a double contact call. In fact, it will be by Young Park. Point to Orlando, who now lead by 4. It's one of those things, it's a little warm in here. There's some condensation inside. Maybe Kendra Waite's hands are a little slippery. It's a big match for her. And that's the 2nd time she's done that, but it has to be because her hands are a little slippery. Service error by Goodpar, going back to Waite for a second. Came in late in set 2. 8 digs, 13 assists for Waite. In virtually a set and maybe a third to this point when you throw it all together. She has also been impressive. Back bump, Abercrombie. Abercrombie loves that deep down the line. She's a lefty, so she's coming in facing angle, and she drops her pinky, driving it down the line. Reagan Cooper may need to set up a little bit more outside. She gave Brittany Abercrombie a whole lot of room to drive it down the line. That is kill number 16 for Brittany Abercrombie off the right. Anai, who serves, has 13 of her own. Londot, back row, turn back. Second effort for Londot, who goes off speed, picked up by Abercrombie. Out of the middle, Foster, dug by Gomez. Cooper into the net. And Orlando has arrived at match points. What this could mean for the Valkyries moving forward. Londot. That has been the hot hand here over the last set and a half.
It's a nice aggressive swing by Londot on that D-ball out of the back row. She swings really strong, has a whole lot of power. And Odora Anai is a little sucked up on defense, maybe a little too shallow, and that ball got away from her.
Witten in to serve. Foster and Orlando sweep the Supernovas.
Huge win for the Orlando Valkyries. Offensively, this was their most efficient match so far this season. Defensively, it was absolutely beautiful to watch. Great win for the Orlando Valkyries, who now move 3-4.
Madison, as we put a wrap on this one, it's interesting to me. I was here for Orlando's open house in December, and the fans had a Q&A with Amy Pauley and the players, and one young fan asked the Valkyries head coach, who are you most excited to play? And Amy Pauley said, Omaha and Atlanta. I've got unfinished business with those two teams who we did not beat a season ago. First meeting between Omaha and Orlando, and Amy Pauley does take care of that unfinished business by sweeping the Supernovas here. Madison, you mentioned the offense, you mentioned the defense by Orlando. What impressed you the most about what the Valkyries did today against the reigning champs?
I think it was the entirety of their gameplay. Start to finish, it was the most clean match we've seen from them. We've seen them take the first set of every single match they've played. Well, not only did they take the first set, they carried that momentum, that rhythm, that defensive and offensive dominance, and they carried it throughout the entirety of that three-set match. This is the potential of the Orlando Valkyries, was that performance right there.
Well, make no mistake about it, Omaha will be just fine. They are too talented, they are too good. We will hear from the Supernovas often throughout the course of this season in their title defense. For Orlando, this is one to savor. It was special. The Valkyries knock off the Supernovas in straights. For Madison Fitzpatrick and our entire crew, Sean Davison, so pleased to be on hand where the Valkyries sweep Omaha at Addition Financial Arena.